it's the football life. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs. This is one of my favorite times of the year. So just like last year, let's start the playoff recap with a quick refresh about how the NFL is structured. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and those teams are divided into two conferences, the AFC and the NFC. Now within each conference, there are 4 divisions: North, South, East, and West. So each team belongs to a particular division within a conference. An example of this is my San Francisco 49ers are in the NFC, that's their conference, and they play in the West division. So now let's talk about the playoffs. Each conference has 6 teams playing in the playoffs, the 4 division winners, and then the 2 teams with the next best record. So it's possible, even if you don't win your division, you can still make the playoffs. Now once the teams for the playoffs are determined, they are seeded 1 through 6. The divisional winners get seeded 1 through 4 based on record. Then the other 2 teams, the wildcard teams, are seeded 5 and 6 based on their record. Now throughout the playoffs, the teams that have the better seed always get to play at home. This weekend we have the wildcard round. Let's take a look at how the games shape up. This is the NFC. Number 6 Minnesota is playing at number 3 Green Bay. Number 5 Seattle is playing at number 4 Washington. Now Atlanta and San Francisco both have byes because they're the number 1 and number 2 seeds. Now the games for next weekend will be determined based on how things go this weekend. For instance, if Green Bay and Seattle win, Green Bay would go to San Francisco and Seattle would go to Atlanta. The number 1 seeded team always gets to play against the worst seeded team that's still left in the playoffs. Here's the picture in the AFC. Cincinnati is playing at Houston, and Indianapolis is playing at Baltimore. Denver and New England have the byes. Just as in the other example, Denver gets to play the worst seeded team who survives this weekend's round of games. If you have any more questions about the playoffs, shoot me a comment. I'd be happy to answer them. And let me know who you're rooting for. I'm going to be rooting for the NFC West champions, San Francisco 49ers, who are off this weekend. So thanks again for watching.